Alright, hello. This is Yao and Anu. We're gonna be working on a multiplayer bingo game, where like multiple players can play at the same time online. So we're gonna be building a website for that. And Annie's pretty new to coding, so she's gonna be learning along the way. Alright, so like, how are we gonna make this?
Really
Yeah.
outline what we're doing. Like, first, should we just talk about what we're gonna do?
Yeah, so we're gonna be using Firebase for like a server, and then it's pretty much like a multiplayer game of bingo.
So we're gonna outline
Alright,
the first things we need to do.
so like we have like I guess a lobby, and then each person, like a lobby has a password, and you need to enter the correct password to join the lobby, and then you need to create a username and then join the game. I guess we should set up rules for joining the game, like you have to join before the game starts, and if the game is in progress you can't start, or you can't join. And then what else? So like I guess there'll be two buttons on the webpage, like it's join game and then start game. So join game is like what we just described, and then start game is like if you want to start your own game. So it'll generate a password, and the person who starts the game is the host. So they'll be calling out bingo, or like I guess the tokens for bingo, like what to cover, and then the players will cover them. And then we'll just have a list of questions instead of numbers for bingo, and then use that, like just automatically generate that. So like the host will just narrate what is like returned from the server, like the question returned, and then the players will have to pay attention and add it to their board.
Okay.
So
Like this?
yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty. Oh,
See that?
pretty straightforward. Okay. Which screen? This is the screen recording. So first thing to do is just make a Firebase database. Okay. And then just start a new project. Wait, just call this bingo.
We call it Caldwell Bingo.
Codwell bingo.
Yeah. C-A-L-D.
C-A-L-D.
L-D-W-E-L-L.
C-A-L-D.
W-E-L-L. Yes.
Okay, sure. Create.
So is Firebase for any project?
Yeah, it's just like it does all the backend for you, so you don't have to like make your own server. So yeah. So this will be our server. We're gonna be using Node.js, just because it's easiest. So JavaScript, and then okay. So let's make a database. You can put in test mode. This is fine.
No.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna do this in incognito.
Okay. So no one steals your idea.
No. Okay, so we're gonna have to figure out like, just so you're like learning, it's probably best just to like do all this. Getting started. Firebase Node.js. I think this is.
Hey, all you Firebase.
Is the desktop audio recording that?
It's gonna come through on the mic.
Yeah, but it should just. Oh.
Developers, let's talk about.
Okay, I guess it'll come to the mic. Okay, so this is our database. I'm gonna make a new project, VS Code.
Why?
What do you mean? This is how you like write code.
Oh, okay.
This is like the. This is like the Google Docs or Note. Like this is the Microsoft Word of coding.
Okay.
Well, there's lots of different ones, but we're just using this one. So, let's just make a new folder. Call it Bingo, and then open that. Open folder. Quick access. Bingo. Okay, so let's watch this video. Excellent. So let's do.
Two of my favorite things. Cloud Firestore and the admin SDK. So I love that Firebase has such robust client-side SDKs for iOS, Android, and web. But did you know that Firebase also has a server-side option, the admin SDK? The admin SDK lets you access Firebase features server-side, so you can, for example, read and write to Cloud Firestore outside of the client. This is especially useful for offloading CPU-intensive tasks and keeping secrets away from the client. Now, if you've seen Todd's videos on getting started with Cloud Firestore for iOS or Android, you'll already be familiar with the sample app I'm going to use, one that stores an inspiring quote. If you haven't seen these videos, I highly recommend you check them out. Todd gives a great overview of the Firestore structure. I'm going to use the iOS version of the Inspiring Quotes app, which looks like this.
So she's just gonna teach us how to like
See the quote and author,
use
as well as text fields
Firestore
to write
for a
quote and
website.
new
I don't
author.
remember how to do it either. So.
In this video, I'll show you how to use the admin SDK to make changes to Cloud Firestore, which can then be seen here in the client. So you may be wondering, how can I keep my quotes fresh, with new inspiration every day? I could rely solely on users to write quotes, or just try to remember something interesting and type it in the console manually. After all, there's no shortage of misinterpreted quotes on the internet. Didn't George Washington say that? Anyway, one neat way I could handle this is server-side. I could use one of the many quote-generating REST APIs out there to get my quotes for me, and then write them to the database using the admin SDK. I can also use server-side code to send a notification to users or something like that if I wanted to. So, that's what I want to show you today. How to get started using the admin SDK to read and write data to Cloud Firestore. I'm going to show you the Firebase admin SDK for Node.js, but Java, Python, and Go are also supported. Okay, let's get started. First, I need service account credentials, which I can download from the Firebase console. Under the Firebase admin SDK tab, I'll select Generate New Private Key. This downloads a JSON file containing the service account credentials.
Okay, I gotta do that real quick. So, Firebase. So like this, like if you download this file, it'll it'll let like the app you're making like access the database, because normally it can't. So like it'll give it the app access to our Codable Bingo database.
Oh.
So is it product settings? And she did users and permissions or service accounts. And then generate private key. Okay. Show in folder. Just gonna cut this and then put it in Bingo. Okay. And then let's keep watching.
I'll add this to my projects directory. Now this service account JSON file contains sensitive information, including your service account's private encryption key. Remember to keep it confidential. Never add it to version control, never put it in a client app, and never store it in a public repository. Now I'll install the Firebase admin package in my project directory.
Okay, let's do that. So I'm pretty sure we're supposed to rename this to, well, I'm pretty sure I wasn't supposed to show this. This is supposed to be private, but who cares? I don't think anyone's gonna steal it. Give the name to client underscore secret.json. And then we need to do this npm install firebase -admin. So we can,
Is this all preparation?
yeah, none of this is really important.
Okay.
I mean, it's important, but like no one, you just watch a video to do this. Like no one's gonna know how to do all this but like the back of their head.
Gotcha.
It's just like a setup.
I'll make a new JavaScript file for my code. I'll be running my code locally.
So she's just doing this all in command prompt, but this is like because she's on like Linux or something, or maybe a Mac, I don't know. But I'm just doing it like how you normally would.
But you can add yours to the server of your choice. I'll require the Firebase admin package. I'll also require the config file containing the service account key.
Okay. So she called it plus admin is equal to Firebase admin. Require. So this is just how you include a package in JavaScript. Well, in Node.js. Firebase admin. Okay. And then const service account require /service account /service service account cool. Service account key .json. Okay, I was supposed to, so I named this wrong. It's not client secret, it's, I keep showing it. Rename service account key. What was it called? Service account key .json. Yeah.
Then I can initialize the SDK using my downloaded service account key file. Note that if I were using the Node.js admin SDK in a cloud function, I could automatically initialize the SDK through the function's config variable. I'll also Node.js admin SDK in the service account key. Then I can initialize the SDK using my downloaded service account key file. Note that
Jesus Christ, we're going fast. Admin.
initialize the SDK no matter how, but before calling admin.
Okay, so this is all just the code to initialize and stuff. Admin initialize app. Okay. That's nice, but credentials. Credential. Oh, it's no S. Admin dot credential dot cert dot
Service account.
service account. The variable. Okay. I don't think there was one. No, there wasn't. Okay. And a const db admin.firebase. So she's making a constant, or like it's kind of just like a variable that can change, to that points to the server,
Okay.
to the database. So const db equal to admin.firebase, Firestore. We're not using Firebase. We're using Firebase, but we're not using Firebase database. We're using Firestore. Okay.
Admin.firestore. Now that I've initialized the admin SDK, I'm ready to get a random quote and write it to the database. But before I get coding, let's briefly examine the structure of the quotes app. At the top level, I start with a collection called sample data. This collection contains just one document called inspiration. This document will itself have two key value pairs, or we can call them fields, one called quote and another called author. Now, as an aside, keep in mind I'm not storing one quote per user. Everybody in the world will be altering this one document. If I were looking to save a different quote per user, I'd probably set up a users collection and create a different document for each user. And again, if you'd like to see how to build this app on iOS or Android, check out Todd's Firecast on getting started with Cloud Firestore. Now I'm going to call a function I'm calling getQuote, the result of which contains a JSON object with a random quote. The result of the function looks for whatever data. Once that work is complete, but I think it's cooler to watch the quote change to written to the database.
Okay, so we're not gonna do any of this get quote stuff because that's just an example. We just want to learn how to use Firebase. So this is like the so db collection sample data dot inspiration set quote, then so this is really annoying to do. That thing like going back and forth. I'm just gonna take a little snippet of it.
Oh,
Okay.
that's smart.
And then I'm just going to put this off to the side, but so this is how you would store data to the database. So db, which is the variable we named here,
Mm-hmm.
and then collection, right? Because if you look at database, right,
Mm-hmm.
this is the collection,
Okay.
and the collection would be a document. So think of a collection as like a folder. Inside the folder is a document, which is like a piece of paper, and then written on the paper are your like key and value pairs, like name and then anu, or name, yeah, and then age, whatever. So that's like pretty much the database structure. So we're gonna, in our folder is name, family info, and in the paper could be name,
Bingo.
I don't know. So bingo, collection name could be bingo, and then the document name could be like the lobby, right?
Hmm?
Because if you have a bunch of lobbies, they have different like passwords. So we can make the password the name of the document, so that'd be easier. So let's just finish So collection bingo document. Okay, that's the wrong function. Doc. And then
So, for example, is collection like the bigger thing, and then the doc is the smaller subset?
right. So
So
there.
you can call it Caldwell Bingo. Is the document?
Well, you can make the entire thing Caldwell bingo, right?
Right.
Cod.
CAL
CAL.
DWEL. Yeah.
Caldwell bingo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the document could be the password to a
Oh.
lobby, so you have like multiple lobbies.
Can you make it JT called?
Well, you can name the lobby, but it's easier just to make the password the lobby. They're never gonna see this. This is all in the backend, so it's just for our use.
Okay, so you got the Caldwell Lounge.
You could do that for now.
Okay. That's what we call our office, so it kind of makes sense.
Okay. Let me finish. So we just want to make. This is just for test purposes. I want to see if this actually works. That's not. We can call this. Then. This is how you write a message. So console.log.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like if it's successful to write in database, just for like debugging purposes, just like testing purposes, we want to like just it to tell us that was it successful or did it fail, and it should always be successful. We'd say lounge was made. Okay, so.
See the quote here, and we can written to the database. Alright, let's see this code in action. In the terminal, I'll run node index.js to run my node app locally. The console logs tell me that the new quote was written successfully. We can see the quote.
Just runs node, so this is how you run the application. Node, and ours is named index.js. This one, so index.js. So before I run it, you see this database is empty, and then I run it. Oh, error. What does it say? They're valid. Data is not a valid
Document.
what? Data. The argument data is not a valid Firebase document. DB sample doc inspiration. Let's set quote data. Then did I not copyright anything? Let's see what she did.
If the document does not yet exist, it will be created. So keep in mind that this replaces all the data in the document with the data passed. If I wanted to update some fields or add.
Oh, okay, sorry. It has to be. You see how hers is like quote and then the quote data out there? It has to be a key and value pair.
Okay.
So I was just trying to write anu, but instead it should be
Key.
name. So that's the key, that's the value. I don't know if keys have to be. They don't have to be strings, I guess. Yeah. I think this should work. Let's run it again. Launch is made, okay?
Okay.
So now by Caldwell Bingo, Lounge, and so it's can write to our database. So I think she's going to show us how to read from the database as
Add to
well.
the document, I'd use the update instead of set function. Once that work is complete, I'll log that the quote was written to the database. Alright, let's see this code in action. In the terminal, I'll run node-index.js to run my Node app locally. The console logs tell me that the new quote was written successfully. We can see the quote here, and we can also see it in the Firebase console. But I think it's cooler to watch the quote change in the app. Here's the iOS version of the Quotes app, with the current randomly generated quote. When I run my Node app again, I can see that the quote changed in the iOS app as well. See? Pretty cool. My server-side code can now generate quotes. Great, that's sure to keep users motivated. But I may also want to be able to read data from Cloud Firestore server-side. Say if I wanted to sanitize bad words from quotes or send notifications when new quotes are written. So let's look at getting data from Firestore. I'll get data from the inspiration doc in the sample data collection using get. I'll also include a catch block to handle if an error occurs. I'll just log it for now. Okay, after I get the data, I'm going to check if the document exists. If not, I'll log that no document exists. Then, I can use the document data to do whatever my app needs, such as sending a notification. And there you have it. Now you know how to use Cloud Firestore for Node.js on your server. I hope this inspires you to incorporate a catch block to handle if an error occurs, so that no document exists. Data to do whatever my app needs.
Okay, so snipping. Okay, it gets simpler from here. I know this is super good.
I'm trying not to fall asleep.
Okay, so for now, let's try to make like the start enjoying game, and then the password, and then getting users to connect to the lobby.
Sounds good.
Then later on, we can implement the bingo board and all the rules to that. So DB. Okay, so now we want to read from the database. We want to again. So we want to get data from Codwell Bingo Lounge from here.
Mm-hmm.
And then she did get. Then we'll have two dots. And doc arrow. If doc exists. So if the document is there, or if the exclamation means not, so if it does not exist, then we want to let ourselves know, so there's no such document. And then do stuff with data. Okay. So then console log doc dot data. I'm pretty sure that's what it's. That will return what we have stored in the server. So catch. So say there's an error returning. We have to handle it so our program doesn't crash. I guess console.error. It's just for special error messages. Error getting document, comma, error. And then process.exit. I'm not too sure what that does. How to exit into this. this will like close our application. So Kawa Lounge. So I'll change this to Yao. Right. So we'll write the server Yao. So we'll change any to Yao, and then we'll, after we write to the server, we'll read from the server. So get data. So write means change something on the server, and read means look at the server and see what's there.
Okay.
So if we run this, oops. So it's, yeah, change to Yao. Function data. So how do you read data? So let's go to documentation. Firestore. You okay?
I'm just like, I got about 2 hours of sleep today. So.
Okay. Do you want the lights on?
I'm not need a bed, but how about we have a stopping point and we'll just work to the stopping point.
Okay, when do you want to stop?
Like in 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
I was like, yeah, I can work on this for an hour, and I'm trying to respect your time. And I'm trying not to fall asleep on camera, which is not happening.
Okay.
But
Add data to cloud first.
Read
Add data. We want to read data. Read data.
the data.
Get data once. Okay. Doc.data. Oh, okay. There's doc.data as a function. So I need to add the little brackets here. What am I doing? Okay. Okay. So now it should print. Now let's say Sally, Bob, Billy, Bump.
Long name.
Brooke.
Where she go for news?
Okay. So it should change from Yao to that and then print it here.
Okay.
Okay, it printed Yao. Oh, so awesome. Okay, this is a problem. So what's happening is that it sets. So this is the problem with JavaScript, is that these things are happening asynchronously. So normally code will run sequentially, so like this will run, this will run, this will run.
Right.
But because these functions are asynchronous, you don't know when they're gonna finish, how long it takes to read from the server and back. This actually finishes before this does. So it read the function, it read Yao on the server before I had the chance to update it to Sally, Billy, Bob. So how to do this is that you don't put all this code. So actually I'm gonna just clean this up by putting it in function. So should I do that though?
Want to make it cleaner?
It would make it nicer.
Let's do it.
I just don't know if I have to make it async. So async. Oops. So async means asynchronous. Async function. We'll call it sample write. A sample write to the database. Or actually you can just call it change name, and then make this a function async function read name. Okay, and then we'll call the function. So we'll actually, so now to do this, to run it, so like it'll change the name, and then you see this then. So this tells it run this code only after this is complete. So that's how we can control the flow of asynchronous, by using then. Well, it's just built into Firebase, so if it wasn't there, we had to use something else, but that's not really important. Read name. So now it'll change the name to what we set it to.
Okay.
It'll print this message, and then it'll read it from the server. So instead of reading what we had it to before, it'll only read after we've changed it. So this is actually Sally Brook now. So if we were to run it without doing this, it would read Sally Billy Brook. Like if I change this to
True.
Nathan Smith, right? It would have read Sally Billy Bob, then changed it to Nathan Smith, which is not what we want.
Okay.
So now we'll run change name, the function. So let's run this function, which will change the name to Nathan Smith. It'll print out lounge is made, and then it'll read the name. Actually, I'm gonna remove this. We don't need this anymore. It'll change it, then read the name. So let's do this. I think hopefully without error. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
So yeah. Do you want to stop here, or you want to just do the initial web page?
Let's do the initial web page and then call it a day.
Okay, so
Like and subscribe.
sample web page. So we're just gonna look up.
Squarespace?
No.
Oh. Can we look up
Hello world. This is quite nice, actually. Unless you have something.
can we
specific.
change the color?
Yeah. So this is like a hexadecimal.
Okay.
Lovely for color.
Red.
Are you seeing this color? This color wrong?
Yeah. Oh, it's really cool.
So you can change it to blue, and this is the hex value.
So it's like oh,
I think you can actually run the code.
for red.
Yeah.
Whoa.
This website's super neat. So yeah, let's just do this.
Can I pick the color?
Yeah, what color do you want?
I want it says blue, but it's like deeper. No, it's deep blue. Yeah, that right there, right there. Perfect.
Okay, cool. Document tag.
And instead of hello world, we change it to Godel Bingo.
COD. Oh, I spelled this wrong.
CALD.
CALD. Codwell. Bingo. Okay, so this is our HTML. So we'll make an HTML file. We'll call it. What's the normal name for? Basic webs page setup. Node is basic web page. Is it just index.html?
Folder and the project folder here. Get certain 4 through it. 1 creates this quest and heading in the head. You
terrible. Like, not terrible. It's just too complicated.
What are you
Basic
trying to figure out?
web page. Just like if I'm doing this right. Creating your first web page.
Hello and welcome to your first tutorial held out and website. So we're gonna say this.
Who cares?
Just like the outline?
Yeah, like next.html. That's like header, so it's like just header is just like a big title, like and H1 is like the biggest, and then it goes from H1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's the smallest. So this is our CSS. So this tells us the text to display on the page. This tells us like the styling, like the font color and all this stuff.
Oh, so if I tell you the font, later on.
Yeah, you can change the font. You can design it to however you want.
Okay. Could I tell you the font now?
.css. What font do you want? I don't know.
It's on my computer really quick. Okay.
Okay.
This is so exciting. The web development part is like the aesthetics. That's the part I like. It's really fun.
Cool.
So this is our color.
Okay, this is what I was looking for. The basic web head. How do you integrate? I don't know how to integrate how do you integrate CSS into this?
You're asking me.
I want to look at my old projects, but I may have to.
Self-plug.
Head would go in the header would go in the head. I guess. I'm not very good at this. VS Code. Let's just look at our project. Job site. I'm kind of cheating here. Okay, I'm slowly gonna use this. Job site.
Okay, it's CMU serif.
So CMU serif.
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 Capital CMU serif.
Report. You like that all. 5 hiring status. Okay, that's how you integrate it. Our style ref. And then I can just remove all this stuff. Browser if button. Back button. All this stuff in the body. Well, actually, I can leave a button. Body. So we can go join button. Create button. Try it again. Create again.
Before you run this,
Uh-huh.
before you run it, can we
Oh my god.
okay.
Okay.
Can we change the name
The name of what?
to Codwell Fellows Bingo?
Kava what?
Fellows Bingo.
Fellows.
Yay.
What font did you want?
A CMU serif. I tried to look up HTML, but I don't think it's
CSS.
CMU serif. 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 Okay, that's one. Is that it? Oh. No, is it? Was it in the Google line? Is that it? Oh, not it.
No.
Oh.
Sans serif. CMU. Href. If this doesn't work, then we can figure it out later.
Okay.
CMU. Serif.
RIF.
RIF.
Mhm.
That's it?
Mhm.
I don't think this is gonna show up because I don't see it showing up in any of these.
Mm.
There's sans serif.
That's close enough.
But we can figure it out later.
Okay.
Just leave it how it was. So now this is the web page. Bingo. So let's see what it looks like. Bingo. Index.html.
Yay.
So this is what it looks like right now. The buttons don't do anything because we haven't programmed them.
Mhm.
One more thing. Let me style the buttons. I'm just gonna use. I'm just gonna steal some CSS from another project. Okay. App.js. No, I just closed out our.
Does it save?
Yeah, it's it.
Okay.
File, open, bingo. Don't know if this will work. Okay, it did.
Yay. Oh, instead of pink, could we have red?
Yeah, so let's change the color.
So the
Oh, you want it red instead of.
Mhm.
So let's find out. Red X
yeah, it's
color hexa. That's definitely not.
it's pretty close. It's a little darker than that, but it's pretty darn close to that.
Color finder.
I have a color.
Color
It's this
picker.
color. It's this red.
That red.
Yeah. Get
like this.
Like NC State, where it's a little darker. So just to go down the gradient on this side. Yeah. Wait, up. Right there.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So like the background color button. Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you add spacing between the buttons? Border, padding.
Margin? No.
I don't understand CSS in that one. Add space between buttons.
It's a margin.
On top. That space. Margin. Oh, you're right. Button style margin 5 pixels. Let's see what that does. Whoa. Style. So this will add a margin of 5 pixels, so hopefully.
Disappears.
Okay.
Well, it made a margin.
Yeah,
But it didn't move our
it
buttons.
moved the button though. I don't want. Pretty sure margin top. Okay, so let's remove the style, and then so we really haven't done any coding, but that's fine. Oh, okay, I had it 0. 10px, is that even 10 pixels? There we go.
Perfect.
Okay, so that's good. It's not actually attached to our JavaScript because we have to do something special for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's for Node.js, but we'll do that later. Then we'll actually host it on like an actual website, and then start building it out from there.
Okay.
But that's good for part 1.
Sweet.
Cool. All right.
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe down below.
This is a 53-minute video.
We're gonna chop it up.
No. It's upload.